What's good, YouTube? Quasar here, and with the new release of the Duelist Saga, we finally have Cosmic Blazer Dragon, so I can finally show you guys this deck profile. So this is like a synchro spam deck, which basically your main goal is to drop Cosmic Blazer, Cypher, and Quasar all in one turn. That's literally all this deck does. So if your opponent has Winged Dragon of Raw Spear mode, you just scoop, because that's pretty much like tributing all three. But yeah, that's just essentially what this deck is made for. You want to be going first turn and dropping all three, because unless they have that, you pretty much win. Like, even if they do max CU, you can essentially even special summon enough times to deck them out if they play a 40 card deck, so there's that too. But anyways, I'm going to shut up and just get right into the deck profile. So, we play 3 copies of Gofu. So, if you control no monsters, you can special summon it from your hand. And then you have the option to special summon tokens too. Don't use that effect because they only fucking clog up your monster zones. But it's a free level 5 tuner. And it's really good if you use that Blackwing Sahoya card. I don't even know their full name, but if you use a Blackwing as synchro material, then that monster becomes a tuner, so it allows for more combos and such. 3 copies of Quick Draw. This guy's really good too, another level 5 tuner. You can just discard a card in order to special summon it, so that's really easy. If you have Level Eater in this card, it starts off with a lot of really sweet combos that you can go off from there. And I also play 3 copies of Jet Synchron, so this card's really versatile. If it's in your graveyard, you can discard a card to special summon it from the graveyard. And then if it's used as synchro material, you get to add a junk monster from your deck to your hand, i.e. your junk Synchron. You don't really want to be seeing this card. I mean, it's there if you absolutely need it, but everyone knows its effect. You have to normal summon it, and you usually don't want to be wasting your normal summon on this guy, but I still play the 1 copy just in case. 3 copies of Level Eater. This card's broken. This is the card that actually allows you to synchro summon so much, because you just target a level 5 or higher monster on the field, reduce that monster's level by 1 to special summon this card from the graveyard, so it allows you to just keep abusing it as synchro material for your synchro summons. So you want to be seeing this card as soon as possible and getting it to the graveyard. So one of the ways to get it in the graveyard, obviously, is Armageddon Knight. Sometimes you actually do just normal summon this guy just to get the Level Eater in the graveyard. I mean, it's not ideal again, but it's just a way to get your Level Eater in the grave quickly, so that's why I play 3 copies of it as well. Next, I play a really small Resonator engine, 1 copy of Red Resonator, and then 2 copies of Synchron Resonator. So Red Resonator, when it's normal summoned, you get to special summon a level 4 or lower monster from your hand. So it's level 2, it can basically special summon that Armageddon. Armageddon will then dump the Level Eater. You can sink into a level 6 like Coral Dragon, stuff like that. And then obviously we play the 2 copies of Synchron Resonator, just because if you control a synchro monster, you get to special summon it from your hand, so that makes it really easy to drop. And it's level 1 tuner as well, making it really versatile for pretty much whatever synchro monster you want to sink into. Also, if it's sent to the grave, you get to return another Resonator from your grave to your hand, so you get to return the Red Resonator. You obviously can't target itself, unfortunately. 2 copies of Doppel Warrior. This card's actually pretty good too. So if you use it as synchro material, you get to summon out 2 Doppel tokens. They're both level 1. So those tokens also provide really easy materials to sink into as well. So I really like using this guy as synchro material as well. Also, if it's in the graveyard, if it's in your hand, you special summon from the graveyard, you get to special summon this guy as well. So it's another easy way to get it on the field. And with the new Duelist Saga, I opted to add 1 copy of Clear Effector. This card's really good because any synchro monster used with this card can't be destroyed by card effects. And also, once you use this card as synchro material, you get to draw a card too. So that's always really good too, because you want to be digging through this deck as much as possible to just continue on your combos. Last 2 monsters, I'm playing 1 copy of Glow Up Bulb and 1 copy of Plague Spreader Zombie. So getting these both into the graveyard really quickly as well is what you want, because Plague Spreader can be special summoned from the grave by putting something on top of the deck from your hand, and then of course Glow Up Bulb, you just mill the top card of your deck to special summon it from the grave. Level 1, level 2 tuner, so they allow access to a wide variety of synchro monsters. Next we're going on to spells. I'm not playing any traps, obviously, because that'll just slow down the deck, and you want to just make it as consistent as possible. So I am playing 3 copies of Tuning. This card basically gets you to any of your Synchrons. I mean, not Resonator, but they spelled Synchron differently with that monster anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So you get to either add your Jet Synchron, your Quick Draw, or if you want to, you could add Junk Synchron as well. And then after you get the search, shuffle your deck, and then you have to mill a card. So that can help or hinder. You want to be getting a lot of stuff into the grave, so hopefully you do mill something good like Glow Up Bulb, for example, but you could also do a really shitty mill and end up milling something like Soul Charge, and you're kind of fucked there. I play 3 copies of Left Arm Offering, so this is basically an extra 3 copies of Soul Charge, because this deck actually really relies on Soul Charge in order to get the 3rd boss monster out. Once you've drawn enough cards, I mean, this isn't really any cost. You want to be seeing that Soul Charge just so you can bring back your 1 tuner synchro, 2 non-tuner synchros, and then just sync up for the 3rd time in order to drop whatever missing piece, be it Quasar, Cypher, or Blazer. 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. Most monsters in the deck are dark, so banishing 1 doesn't really matter, but the drawing 2 is so helpful just to dig through your deck. And I know we are only playing 3 Resonators, but I am playing 2 copies of Resonator Call. It's just good to be able to see your Resonators early on and just allow you to pull off combos as quickly as possible. So searching with Resonator Call is always good. Now the one-ofs, as I said, Soul Charge, probably like the most important card in the deck. Copy of 1 for 1, there are a lot of level 1 targets you want to be bringing out, like Glow Up Bulb would probably be the most important, but there's always options. Reinforcement of the Army, there are a lot of targets in this deck, so why not play it? 1 copy of Foolish Burial just to get stuff into the graveyard. As I said before, there's a lot of stuff you do want in the grave, so you'd probably be sending Level Eater first off, but depending on where you are, like, it's always just good to have. And then for the last card, I am playing Instant Fusion just because of the Sea Monster. It's actually a level 5 tuner, so it's pretty sweet just to be able to special out another level 5 tuner just for 1,000 life points. So that's it for the main deck. I will get on to the extra now. So as I said before, basically the main goal is to drop all 3 of these guys. They all have the same summoning conditions. You would need one synchro tuner monster plus 2 or more non-tuner synchro monsters. The fact that you need 3 synchros, I mean, it's not that difficult, but it can start to get difficult as you continue on and you're running out of resources. Again, that's why Soul Charge is so important. But these guys just make a pretty much near impossible field to break. So with Quasar, he gets to negate an effect. He can attack up to the number of non-tuners that were used as synchro material. So since it's at least 2, he gets at least 2 attacks, which is awesome. And then he does have an effect where if he leaves the field, you get to summon out a shooting star. But honestly, I don't even have the room for that. So plus, if you do have all 3 of these guys, it's highly unlikely that he is going to be leaving the field. Stardust Cypher is probably your more defensive one. He protects all cards you control from destruction once each. If a monster effect is activated, you can negate the activation, then destroy 1 card on the field. It doesn't even have to be that monster that activated its effect that you destroy. And then with Blazar, he has multiple effects. So again, if a card or effect is activated, this one you'd have to banish until the end phase, and then during the end phase it just gets brought back, so that's pretty sweet. But all the effects revolve around banishing it. So again, if card or effect's activated, banish it until the end phase, negate the activation, destroy that card. During the battle phase, you can banish this, negate the attack and the battle phase, and then once again, end phase, it'll come back. Or if your opponent would summon a monster, like normal or special, again, you can just banish, negate the summon, and then during the end phase, it comes back. So a lot of versatility there. If you drop all 3, your opponent's going to have a really hard time getting over just one of them, let alone all 3. For my next one, I'm playing 1 copy of Ancient Fairy Dragon. I like having this option just because she has the ability to special summon a level 4 lower monster from your hand. After you've been drawing quite a bit, you're going to have quite a few monsters in your hand, so it's always good to have the option to special summon 1 to continue your plays. So I really like the idea of running Ancient Fairy Dragon. For level 6s, I play Coral Dragon and then Stardust Charge. So Coral Dragon's a tuner as well. His main effect, you can discard a card to pop a card. We almost never use that effect. If he leaves the field by any means, you get to draw a card. So what I really like to do is if you level eat this, use it as synchro material, it'll become level 5 plus 1 is 6. You go into Stardust Charge Warrior. Because it left the field, you get to draw a card. And then when Stardust Charge Warrior is synchro summoned, you get to draw a card. So that's 2 draws right there. And then your main synchro monster that's not like your big boss monsters would have to be TG Hyper Librarian. Every time you synchro summon, you get to draw a card. So this guy's the reason this deck actually works, because you need to be able to continually draw into your combo pieces. Unfortunately, it's at 1 though. I mean, I'd play it at 3 if I could. So this is 2 copies of Sahoya. This guy's actually pretty neat. The fact that he becomes a tuner if a Blackwing was used. So again, if you use Gofu and like Level Eater, you can sync into this. It becomes a tuner. Level Eat that, bring out your other one. And then when this is on the field, this is in the graveyard, you get to special summon it back. So it makes for a lot of good versatility and making it a lot easier to go into things like Quasar, Cypher, and Blazar, because that's like instantly 2 level 5 synchro monsters. All you'd need is a level 2 and you can go right into it. But I really like how, again, so if this is on the field, this is in the grave, you can special it. If they're both in the grave, you can banish one just to special another one too. So these guys actually help the deck speed up so much. Another level 5, we play the 1 copy of Jet Warrior. This guy's really neat too, because if he's in the graveyard, you can tribute a level 2 or lower monster on the field to special summon it back from the graveyard. So if you level eat something, tribute the level eater, and then you can bring this guy back, and he's just, again, another easy level 5 that you can just keep reusing. 1 copy of Quasar Synchro. This guy is really dirty because he's a tuner. He can adjust his level. That's another reason to actually play the Junk Warrior. With his effect, you can send any of your tuner monsters from the deck to the graveyard, and his level matches, or it gets increased or decreased by the level of the sent monster. So you could make him essentially level 2 just by sending your Junk Synchro. And then after that, you'd only need your other 2 level 5s, making this guy a really easy tuner just to go into it. A lot of people actually like sending the Jet Warrior just so you have Jet Warrior in the graveyard, and I mean Jet Synchro, sorry. So if you send it, usually people level it up by 1, and then you can just use your level eater, bring it back to level 5, and then you can sync into your level 6s such as Coral Dragon, and then your grave is set up with your Jet Synchro, and you can still continue your plays from there. So this guy's really flexible, you gotta be playing him. 1 copy of Tatsunoko. He's a level 3 tuner as well. He lets you use monsters in your hand as synchro material, so that's actually really awesome. If you already did normal summon, this guy's like extremely helpful for getting some monsters out of your hand into your graveyard and synchroing into some bigger monsters. So my last 2 synchro monsters are going to be 2 copies of Formula Synchro. When you synchro summon into it, you get to draw a card, so that's always really good. He also has a pretty dirty effect where during your opponent's main phase, you can immediately after the effect resolve synchro summon. I mean, that almost never happens because you're trying to just go into your main 3 boss monsters and you're not usually ending a turn with Formula Synchro on the field, but it is a sweet ability to have nonetheless. And then the last monster I play, as I said before, because I'm running Instant Fusion, I'm playing the 1 copy of Sea Monster just because he is a level 5 tuner, so it's really easy to just pay 1,000 just to drop him, and then you can use level eater on it and then synchro into whatever other level 5, probably like TG Hyper like that. But I like having this guy just as an option as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. You guys could definitely slap something together like this and play it as long as you can until Link Summoning comes out, because unfortunately after that happens, this deck is pretty much dead. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.